Thank you very much for being with us. The sole candidate in the election in Armenia failed to get confirmed. A chaotic situation then in Yerevan. The leader of the opposition, Nikol Pashinyan, was expected to be returned as interim prime minister. The vote in the Yerevan parliament. That parliament then refusing to endorse him. Outside the building, a jubilant crowd, in spite of the result. He said ahead of the vote that it wasn't about electing him, but about getting rid of those responsible for the corruption and cronyism in Armenia. Observers fear there will be more street turmoil after this vote. Pashinyan himself has warned of a political tsunami if the vote didn't go his way, and that's the situation. It hasn't gone his way. Crowds are still there. We're joined now for more analysis by Laurent Lelekian, political analyst and specialist on Asia Minor and the Caucasus. Thank you very much, Laurent, for being with us. The writing in many ways is on the wall here. What do you think could happen next?
Well, institutionally speaking, that's quite clear. There will be some new vote in the National Assembly in 1 week for a new election, for a new prime minister. The question is, who will challenge the position? For sure, Nikol Pashinyan will challenge the position, but the question is to know whether or not the Republican Party will present another candidate. And I don't think that they're in position to find someone. That's the reason of the crisis.
We've come to this point after the protests to get rid of the man who had been president for a long time, then became prime minister, Serge Sargsyan. He's now gone, and the Pashinyan, Nikol Pashinyan, was there to replace him. Of course, in the eyes of the people in the street, he's the man. The MPs saying, no, we don't want you.
Yeah, well, first, I would like to underline that the whole process was very positive, according to me. That's the first time that in Armenia, apart a case of a major eruption of violence, this is the first time that a clear process, democratic process with debates in the National Assembly took place with a huge attendance in Armenia, but also worldwide, especially, I can say, for instance, that among the diaspora, the events have been very closely watched. And so the process by itself is very positive. Now, the question is that we realize that the Republican Party is trying to save time in order to be able to find out a man, someone to present. But according to me, he will not be able to find out someone in 1 week.
But if they do somehow find somebody, and this person is endorsed by the MPs, selected by the MPs to be the interim prime minister, and it's not the person, Pashinyan, that the people want, surely that means it's going to be trouble.
Surely, in this case, it will be a true crisis of legitimacy between the choices of the MPs and the choice of the street. And in this case, we can fear some turmoil and some violence. And the true challenge for Nikol Pashinyan is to turn his movement, which is up to now, as I said, very positive and very peaceful and very exemplary, to turn into a political force and not into an eruption of violence and deterioration. Because if the situation deteriorates, then probably the regime will took the opportunity to bemerge Nikol Pashinyan and the movement. So
okay, so they could blame him, and that could obviously, again, spiral in a different direction. Can you just remind us, or for certain maybe people who don't know, tell them, what are the things that people in Armenia are angry about? What are the things they want changed?
They want to change the internal situation of the country. And even Nikol Pashinyan explicitly told that he don't want to change the alignment or the external policy or the great alliance with Russia or the agreement with the EU. This is not the point. And also some lines of the foreign policy of Armenia, such as the international recognition of the Armenian genocide, such as the recognition of the Republic of Artsakh as an independent country, are not on the table. What is in the table is the end of, as you said, the crony regime with corruption, which is hindering people, average people, to succeed in their life. You want to open a grocery, you want to open a small business, and you cannot, for instance, import potatoes from Europe because there is a big oligarch which has the monopoly on this kind of importation. Or you cannot find a position because you are not the cousin or the brother or the sister of a given MP.
So that's stopping people getting on through merit, through hard work.
Exactly, and that's why educated people have left. Many educated people have left the countries, and this is really a drain, a tragic drain for such a small country such as Armenia. So that's the point that people would like to change. And very interestingly, during the lengthy debate in the assembly, one of the MP from the Republican Party apologized for what they missed, to my knowledge, this is the first time that there is such an open debate in the assembly, and maybe some such a frank statement that they acknowledge that they missed things and they want to change, but not to change for Pashinyan. They want to change for one of themselves.
So, amid the tension, there are signs of optimism. Laurent, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Laurent Lelekian, political analyst and specialist on Asia Minor at the Caucasus, and as we heard there, especially on the situation in Armenia. Thank you very much indeed, sir.